Welcome back. You're watching Republic TV, and yes, today that crucial Aadhar hearing is coming up in the Supreme Court. We've had a massive debate on the right to privacy and whatnot, but today the Aadhar hearing, which is coming up in the Supreme Court, it's the final one and possibly the biggest test, because keep in mind the government has been batting for the Aadhar. We have seen quite a bit of criticism also coming in for this particular scheme, highlighting the loopholes, highlighting how this is a breach of basic privacy of Indians. But today, the Supreme Court will decide on whether the Aadhar card will remain, whether the scheme will remain or not. Let's go across to Nalini for more details on the story. Nalini, give us a sense of really what's expected today. Yes, the Aadhar hearing is coming up for the Supreme Court, and no doubt it's a very crucial one because it will decide really the fate of the Aadhar scheme.
Absolutely. In fact, the reason why this particular hearing is so important is because from the very beginning, the government's stand before the Supreme Court has been that Aadhar is not violative of the fundamental rights of the citizens, because privacy is not a fundamental right of the citizen. But of course, in the aftermath of the 9-judge ruling of the Supreme Court that actually upheld privacy to be the fundamental right that is awarded to the citizens under the Constitution, it puts the entire debate surrounding Aadhar into perspective, because then what is the excuse that the government or the defense that government is going to take before the Supreme Court? So this is the first time that this matter is now coming up before a 5-judge bench. The petitioners had originally asked the Supreme Court to list the case before a larger bench, stating that it involved a larger issue that needed to be discussed by a constitution bench. Initially, the Supreme Court hadn't done so because the privacy case was still pending before the Supreme Court. But now that the privacy case is decided, they've formed this constitution bench consisting of 5 judges, which is headed by the Chief Justice himself, which is today going to start hearing the arguments in the case of the challenge to Aadhar. And let's remember that the argument of the petitioners in this case, that Aadhar in fact goes ahead to violate a person's fundamental right to privacy, becomes even more strengthened in the light of the 9-judge judgment. So of course it's going to be a very interesting hearing before the Supreme Court today, before the 5-judge bench. We've also heard some very great observations being made by Justice D.Y. Chandrachud in the entire scenario. So we can expect the 5 judges to also give their opinions on the entire case, as well as hear the government stand on what exactly it's going to be after the privacy judgment has come into effect.
Okay, all right. Nalini, thanks for those details. Keeping a close track on the developments of that story, the Supreme Court's final hearing of the Aadhar plea. Will we see them upholding the right to privacy, as the petition calls it, or will they go ahead and say that the Aadhar scheme is perfect as it is and doesn't require any changes?